actually about ready to say the exact same thing. So I'm I'm gonna be kind of cued in to see how they do here.
Oh, and it looks like we are off. Everyone but ProblemsIRL starting in the Sanctuary and getting the Power Glove, if I'm seeing that correctly. While Problems finds 300 bucks. No, just a hundo. Still good enough for a start.
Yeah, it looks like Problems is going to take the south route into Kakariko. We do have, looks like let's see, Gem is going to be heading into more of a standard route from Sanctuary up into the Lost Woods, and CeroX is going to be doing Hula Hands. So we got all kinds of starts going on this race.
Yeah, all kinds of route diversion here right from the start. Interesting to see. TheOkayGuy immediately making his way to the back of Escape with his Power Glove and the one bomb that he found. I like this play. That's probably why he saved and quit back to Sanctuary immediately after checking Link's house.
Yeah, it's really rare you see this early of a dive into the back of Escape. And gets Ether, so...
Yeah, not immediately useful, but we'll have to see. I sadly missed what Problem saw on the library. We get the second glove right here laying around in the woods.
Oh wow, that's a very early Titans. It's less than 2 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen earlier Titans miss than this. Oh, we got a Moon Pearl for Problems, so looks like Kakariko is holding some good stuff here for us.
Yeah, we could have a sub 5 minute Dark World access seed here.
Yeah, no swords, no nothing really. Just 2 glove upgrades and the Moon Pearl. Alright, so with all that stuff being pretty much right around the corner from where you start, I'm gonna assume that all of our runners will definitely be grabbing all of that. So, despite all the crazy route divergence right at the beginning, we're gonna be pretty much end up at the same spot, I guess.
Yeah, it appears so.
Oh, there's a hammer.
And we have a hook shot for Problems.
Man, we're finding all kinds of stuff right away. This could be a quick one, though I don't want to curse it.
Yeah, lately I've been seeing where you get a lot of items early on. It tends to maybe kind of trail you along in the end. So we'll see how this one turns up.
Yeah, a lot of good items early on don't necessarily mean that it's going to be a quick one. That is sadly very true. Especially since we haven't really found a whole lot of keys that are useful for us. I mean, there's the Swamp Palace big key, but that's not really something you're looking for.
Yeah, that Swamp Palace big key is one of the only big keys in the game that you don't actually need to access the boss.
Yeah, so pretty much all of our runners making their way through Kakariko in a couple of different variations from south to north, from north to south, but they're all going to be grabbing their Moon Pearl, their Hammer, their Titansmiths, their Hookshot, their Blue Mail. I think that's it, right? A couple of heart pieces and stuff like that.
Yep, and we did see from the TheOkayGuy, he did go ahead and farm bombs to save some of those rupees. So, should he find one of those 300 rupee chests, we could see a early play up to Zora from the TheOkayGuy at this point.
Yeah, and with the Moon Pearl, not necessarily a bad thing to do, because you can check the Waterfall Fairy as well with the Water Walk glitch. Problem's finally picking up his Sanctuary Titansmith for him. So far they found a lot of very useful stuff that gets them to a lot of overworld places, but they haven't really found any keys. Which, you know, a couple of dungeons and stuff like that you can get into without keys, but is it ever really worth it?
It's a tough call, and you know, definitely a gamble for sure if you decide to hop in there without all the keys required for the dungeon. But we'll see if the South Shore right here from Problems grants us some of those keys and maybe some access to some of these dungeons.
Yeah, we definitely have a couple of spots left to check before we need to desperation dip into any dungeons that we don't have any keys for. So the TheOkayGuy now on his way to pick up his Titansmiths. And we find a book in the dam.
Well, there's part of desert access there. Still need, you know, a couple more things, you know, a couple of keys to really make it worth at least dipping in there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Problems is going to go over to Ice Rod Cave. It looked like he almost wanted to go over to the desert immediately, but then, you know, changed his mind right away and was like, oh wait, I don't even have any keys or anything.
That mini Moldrum did not want to get tickled to death.
Yep. And did I just see that correctly? I might have missed it, but it looked like CeroX left the chest in Link's house behind. Not that it was really super important, but it looked close to me.
I unfortunately missed that, but we did get to see that both Problems and Gem found their first sword.
Yep, very nice. So that's another little piece that you'd like to have before you really go anywhere other than the overworld.
Yeah, having a sword, at least in my eyes, makes, you know, should they decide to go to the Dark World, just a bit more feasible.
Yeah, I mean, at least I do have the hammer, which makes it doable, but you really feel better with a sword of some kind. Looks like the TheOkayGuy, the only one who decides to go up to Death Mountain here, rescuing the old man who only gives him a compass, so we'll see if he can grab anything else. Without the mirror, can't really get too far.
And we only had 20 rupees in the Ice Rod Cave. So now CeroX is heading into the first portion of Escape down to Zelda's Cell. And we also got a chance to see what our stun price package today is, which is a 20 rupees. So good way to farm rupees should we need them.
Yeah, making note of that stun price is something that a lot of people forget about because you don't often need it, but it can be extremely helpful.
Yeah, especially you know, getting that hookshot early on, seeing that the stun price pack is 20 rupees, you won't really have to worry about, you know, rupees at all. There's a lot of enemies you can stun up and take advantage of all those rupees you get from them. Um, and you know, even with CeroX, that he now has the money for Zora. So yeah.
Yeah, and we saw the TheOkayGuy picking up his first sword up on Death Mountain, so we do have Master Sword available for these guys. Well, I guess not by the logic, because he shouldn't be up here yet, he doesn't have the lamp.
And I think Gem is our first runner over to Agonist Cave now.
Yep, meanwhile CeroX is going to show us what we find down here, only a piece of heart. And that chest was still close. It's only 100 rupees, but, you know, good thing he started here again. You know, a gem. Finding our favorite item, the Cane of Samaria, down here in Agina's cave. I'm sure he's happy to check that. Alright, Paradox Cave. Not really paying off so far for the okay guy, but he's getting to the juicy parts now, while Gem is dipping into desert.
It's a very interesting decision to dip into desert. There's really only one location and the desert ledge you have access to get the items from. Now, we can't see what is on the torch. Without the boots, it's just going to be knowledge at this point.
And we got our first Hyrule Castle key up here on Death Mountain in the Paradox Cave, so for all we know, there might be something in there.
Alright, and Gem decides to dip out of desert after seeing just 20 rupees on the torch there. Ooh, and there's a big key.
Alright, so that's good knowledge to have. You never know what kind of big key that could be.
Yeah, it looks like the okay guy's gonna head in to check just a couple locations here in Tower of Hera as well.
Yeah, you can at least get to 2 locations here without any keys. Finds a red boomerang, not what he's looking for.
And Gem is into the Dark World, into Hype Cave, finds the Cane of Burna, a big key of Palace of Darkness. Looks like air capacity upgrade and some rupees.
Yeah, mediocre, I guess. You see CeroX now making his way over to Agina's cave as well, taking the right exit from desert that you don't really see all that often. But if you want to route in Agina's cave after desert, this is probably your best way to do it.
We see Problems making their way into the Hype Cave, and you know what, the okay guy is in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, taking the long, slow walk without the boots around here, hoping to find something useful, and just more bombs.
And with the Titan's Mitts, the okay guy can actually check the east side of Dark Death Mountain now as well.
Oh yeah, very true. He can check a bunch of stuff here. If he finds the mirror, on the off chance that he does, he can grab that big key on the floating island right away as well.
And Gem has made their way to the digging game now. And just finds a piece of heart there. So not much getting dug up from that mini game here.
No, and it looked like a ton of dicks as well, so that was definitely not worth his time.
And
Probably gonna grab the frog here.
And it's pretty interesting that they didn't pick up the piece of heart they dug up, only having 4 hearts.
Yeah, I personally would definitely pick up everything that I can to make the Dark World less dangerous to me, but yeah, I think these guys are confident enough to route their way through here without getting hurt too much, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see if Problems decide to skip out on that piece of heart as well. Ooh, and
Oh,
there's
man.
the boots in Hookshot Cave. And the bow.
And the bow.
Oh my goodness.
And a pod small key. Alright, that counts as well, sort of.
Yeah, Dark World Death Mountain paying off.
That is the place to be, apparently. Jen finds the compass again at Sour. Out of the already useless compasses in the game, probably the most useless.
And after acquiring those boots, the OK guy is going to check King's Tomb. We'll probably get a chance to see Bonkrox here. Also get to see that the Tower Small Key was in the King's Tomb.
That's gotta sting a little bit. You always hate to, you know, come from a place you just were and then find the key that you need to further get somewhere in there. He is still lacking a fire source, of course, so it wouldn't have really helped him anyways, but, you know.
And also we do see Gem is in Thievestown now.
Yep, grabs a bottle full of red goo while the OK guy grabs the small key to Thievestown, so that's something that Gem might wanna grab at some point.
And the OK guy is now finally going to be making the trek down to the South Shore here.
Yeah, which is gonna mean that he is gonna be the first one to have the Master Sword, right?
Yeah, he will be our first runner with the Master Sword here, and that means next time when he does go up to Death Mountain, he'll be able to check that that tablet there, because we'll be picking up the boot here from the dam.
Yep. Jim finds a small key to Skull Woods here in the east side of Kakariko.
Yeah. Meanwhile, CeroX heading up to Zora. We can see there's a key on the ledge there, so we may have a double dip Zora.
Yeah, that could definitely be a super important key. If it's something like the Swarm small key, we're definitely looking out for that one.
And not a terrible trade-off. 500 rupees for 300 rupees, so not what you want to see, but not a terrible trade-off. At least it's not the green rupee or a big 20.
Yeah, exactly. Considering how terrible it could have been, that's still better than most things.
Speaking of the green rupee, Gem just found one of them inside of Skull Woods.
And 10 arrows. Not really paying off at all here.
And it looks like the OK guy is going to go ahead and fake Flipper now. He left the waterfall cave, or the ice rod cave here.
Yeah, looking for some money. Needs 6 more rupees for Zora.
Yep. I would check the stun prize package now. It's got the hook shot.
Yeah, as we were saying earlier, it's just something that runners don't often think about. Jim has so far managed to pick up his red mail from Skull Woods, so that's something at least.
Yeah, especially only having 4 hearts. That red mail is going to come up huge. Now, will we be seeing the first check? No, we're going to be going back to escape. Yeah, none of our runners have been over to Sahasrali yet, surprisingly. Oh, never mind. CeroX is over there. I must have missed that.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything come out of there. He found out that swamp palaces are green pendant, so despite the early hook shot, it might not be too important, but, you know, with Keysanity, every location is important.
Ooh, and there's our fire rod in Eastern Palace.
Oh man, and I bet Problems would really like to have that right about now.
Yeah, that makes Skullwoods completable at this point.
Alright, so now the okay guy checking up here to Zora. Bunch of maps in here.
And we did get to see another Palace of Darkness small key inside of Eastern here.
Yeah, we're finding a lot of pod keys. I mean, it's not really too surprising because pod has a lot of keys that you, by the logic, really should be having all of them before you go in there.
Yeah, I believe Palace of Darkness has the most of all the dungeons at 6.
Yeah, I think that's right. I know it does have 6 keys. I don't think any other palace has more keys. And if you want to full clear it and finish it, you really should have all 6 keys. Otherwise, you need to either know the hammer jump, bomb jump, or you might risk a soft lock.
And what makes it better is the okay guy has both the hammer and the bow, so we can even skip another key in there. We can actually skip that first locked door by going around the outside to the right once we get into Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, you're completely right. Makes it a little bit annoying, especially if they still don't have the mirror by that point. But it's gonna save them a key if he wants to.
So Problems picks up their fire rod here. And we do have the okay guy doing another sequence break, doing the dark rooms here in the escape. First sequence break paid off. Let's see if this one does. And that is Tempered Sword. So that definitely pays off.
Yeah, that is our tempered sword here in the Dark Sewers chest. The first of our runners to grab it. Now setting up for a death warp. I'm not 100% sure if he realized what he found, because he was skipping through his inventory and didn't see any new items in there, but he'll realize soon enough.
And let's take a look, see where the okay guy's heading. He's going to the back portion of escape here. Now, with that temper sword, I'll be interested to see if the okay guy takes a death warp and decides to check the first chest in Aghanim's tower.
Yeah, that could be an interesting choice. I mean, usually those are chests where you know exactly, okay, I can grab a key from there, but obviously in Keysanity that is not the case. And it won't be the first time that one of those 2 chests holds an important item or an important key.
And looks like CeroX is going to be heading up to the pyramid. We'll get to see what's on the pyramid this time around. There's so much going on in these races.
Yeah, it's crazy. Everyone is going everywhere.
There's only 20 rupees on the pyramid. Let's take a look to see where Problems is going to head. Maybe we get a chance to see what's up on Death Mountain now, or maybe heading back to Skull Woods to finish that up.
Yeah, they still have a couple of options open to them. The only person to have done the Death Mountain sequence break is TheOkayGuy, and he's been rewarded pretty handsomely for it, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of great worth up there, and looks like TheOkayGuy is going to check that first chest. Ooh, sick kid. Big key to Tower of Hera.
Sick kid holding the valuable goods today. That key was as big as his head.
So with that Tower of Hera key, that just puts more incentive to maybe sequence break up Death Mountain, considering you can literally check everything over there aside from the floating island now.
Looks like CeroX might be heading up to Death Mountain, maybe?
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, we will be seeing that sequence break.
Yep, and I think as soon as he, or at the latest, when he gets into the Dark World portion of it, he'll be very happy that he did this.
Yeah, there's so many good items up there. Got the bow, we got boots. There's another sword up there. A lot of great items.
So Problems decides to tackle Mothula here. He does have red mail, but the spikes sadly don't really care about which mail upgrade you have. So he really needs to be pretty careful here. He saves as much magic as he can. He's gonna probably have to use one more shot here to kill that Gibdo for the key, yeah. He does get a small refill in the next room if he wants to, but it's gonna be a pretty harsh fight. I'm not sure if he has any potions in that bottle.
Yeah, I think his only saving grace at this point, he does have the hammer for when he runs out of fire rod shots. So that might make the last portion of this fight a bit easier.
Oh, and he does have a red goo, so he should be fine. Yeah, there we go.
Super clean fight. And gets another bottle for his troubles.
Yeah, and an empty one at that, so not even really a reward.
But that is our very first crystal picked up here.
CeroX, meanwhile, grabbing his Master Sword up here, saving and quitting, probably back to the old man to check out the east side of Death Mountain.
And the TheOkayGuy gonna give us a hammer pegs check here.
Being able to dash through these, such a pleasure.
Now, Problems is starting at the Sanctuary and saved and quit out of Skull Woods. Maybe making their way up to Death Mountain now?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it definitely looks like it. And we know it's a very good play. I'm really starting to get curious about the lamp, though, because, you know, it is a sequence break. Not one that our runners are having trouble with at all, obviously, but that lamp has to be somewhere accessible without, you know, the boots, the bow, the Master Sword. Well, maybe not the Master Sword.
Well, we did have to sequence break to get both the two other sword upgrades that we've seen.
Oh yeah, that's right. Alright, Problems making it through the dark cave with the old man, no problem. Gets his new respawn point up here on Death Mountain.
Just got to be a little careful here. These falling cabbages can hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, they're really, really annoying, and with only, 5 hearts, you gotta be careful. He's also gonna be grabbing his Master Sword here more than likely.
Yep. So going back to the lamp discussion, I'm thinking Tower of Hera may lead to that lamp in some way. Well, no, because we had a sequence break. Never mind.
To be honest, it's kind of hard for me to backtrack and think which dungeons or places they could have gone to without the sequence break. I guess wherever Jam is going to, because he hasn't been up there yet.
And CeroX finds a small key to Turtle Rock on the Ether tablet.
Also, very important keys to have, especially since we found out earlier from the bomb guy that both Pot and Turtle Rock are our 5 and 6 crystals, so not only do we know now that they're crystals, we also know that they open up the Permit Fairy.
So CeroX heading into Tower of Hera does pick up the red boomerang. And without that big key, CeroX is going to have to leave Tower of Hera behind.
Yeah, we see the okay guy now giving us a quick check of Skullwoods again, picks up his red mail first and goes from, the reverse order than what you normally see here. It doesn't really grab anything of value, as we found out earlier already. So CeroX is gonna be coming up on the big jackpot that is Dark World East Death Mountain.
Yeah, looks like that's where they will be heading. Next, we'll get to see them go through Super Bunny Cave up into Hookshot Cave and get all that great value.
And now that gem is also up here, we've got the sequence break from all 4 of our runners. Nobody cares about Lamb.
Yeah, and on Problems stream there, we saw the Dead Rock giving him the business, guarding that bridge over to the Ether tablet with its life.
Yeah, these Dead Rocks are awful. Just awful. So Gem now going to be picking up his Tempered Sword, our second runner with the Tempered Sword here. No Problems also grabbing his Turtle Rock small key that we saw from CeroX earlier, and CeroX making his way into the wonderful Hookshot Cave that will be giving us the boots and the bow, and I think a key of some sort, right?
I believe so, yes. All right, and the okay guy is getting ready to go turn in the blacksmith here.
Yeah, and Problems, the first of our runners up here who was actually able to finish up Tower of Hera because he found that big key earlier.
And so far, there hasn't really been much in Tower of Hera. Just a couple heart pieces so far.
Yeah, really hasn't been worth it. We'll have to see if it's a pendant or a crystal. But what he's found in the chest so far, not really convincing. Oh boy.
Oh wow, that is big.
That is an extremely good find for the ALTTP here. It grabs the flute from the blacksmith. I'm not really sure how these guys can manufacture an ocarina out of that, but sure. So is that the end of the sequence break? That's how we get up on Death Mountain without the lamp, right?
Yeah, that's how we do get up onto Death Mountain without the lamp. So that is in sequence. The runners can save and quit once they get into blacksmith. So we are for the most part back on sequence. We still have that lamp to find for that tempered sword, but the main sequence break is pretty much caught up now.
Yep, looks like we are back.
And looks like Tower of Hera was the red pendant, so not necessarily needed.
Nope, didn't really have anything of value in it either, so that was, of course, unknown to our runners, but pretty much skippable, I'd say.
And with that flute, the ALTTP is going to give us our first check. Oh, never mind, not our first check to the Mire area.
Oh, he's gonna dip in the desert. Interesting. He fluted to Sahasrara and then left without checking into Eastern, which means he's also not gonna be grabbing his fire rod just yet. Not too big of a deal, but you don't want to leave it for too long.
Yeah, I think the ALTTP is probably hoping to be able to combo Eastern and Palace of Darkness together once they find the mirror.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he also will probably, at the very least, like to have the big key for Eastern Palace before he goes in there, so he can at least, finish it up.
Alright, so we do have the question, who is ahead right now? It is honestly way too early to tell. In our top race, both runners have checked other things that the other has not. Bottom race, like I said, it's once again a bit too early to tell.
Yeah, there's definitely no telling it, especially with how many items they found, but with how little keys they found so far.
And Problems grabbing that information about Turtle Rock there, seeing its quake. And the ALTTP gonna be grabbing his Cane of Samaria now.
Yep. Problems grabbing his boots and gonna be grabbing his bow as well here.
Alright, so I'm kind of curious to see where ProblemsIRL is going to go next after clearing out Dark Death Mountain there. So CeroX is heading back over towards the Eastern Palace area. We may get a chance to see what's in Palace of Darkness, as CeroX already has a fire rod and spin into Eastern.
Oh, I missed what the medallion was. Another Turtle Rock small key, so I believe that makes 3 in total that we found so far.
Alright, so chat is confirming Mystery Mire was Ether.
Alright, so he's definitely gonna head in.
Yeah, I like this play. There's a lot of locations in Misery Mire you can check. You can't finish it yet because you don't have the big key, but there's still a lot of locations which could hold a lot of value in here.
Yeah, and CeroX is going to be the first of our earners here dipping over into pod, closely followed by what looks like Problems also doing it.
And we also see Gem is about ready to go and pick up their boots and their bow from Hookshot Cave, so finally starting to see some convergence between all the racers.
Yeah, it's converging a little bit. Interesting to see that the right side runners are deciding on pod. The left side runners are doing something completely different.
Yeah, with 3 keys for Palace of Darkness, we can actually have access to every chest location in here, aside from getting back to Armos, or not Armos, Helmosaur.
Yeah, we could technically clear out every chest in here, just not the boss.
And I'll be curious to see if they skip the Spike Hellway room. So if they skip that, then we can see Helmosaur.
Looks like Misery Mire not really paying off so far. CeroX finds the lamp and pod here in the Bowlock section and the small key to Ice Palace.
Alright, so no more dark rooms for Problems or CeroX then.
And Gem is going to give us a brave spike room check with the cane. Not really a problem, but he's still going to be cutting it pretty close.
Yeah, I'd say if he didn't have the boots there, he probably wouldn't have made it.
Just a bunch of money. So Misery Mire looks like only worth it for the crystal that you absolutely need. The okay guy not really finding anything worth in there. Also grabs the little hint on where crystal 5 and 6 are and refilling his bomb count.
Yeah, so for the rest of the runners, you kind of got to hope that you can hit Misery Mire once you get into go mode.
Yeah, you definitely want to be at least having that big key so you can finish it up and just be done with it instead of having to double it. But we'll have to see where that big key is hiding. We'll definitely need it.
Yeah, and CeroX finds another key to Palace of Darkness in Palace of Darkness, so we can full clear up Palace of Darkness if CeroX knows the Hammer Yump.
Yep, and we also grab a small key to the Desert Palace, so that might be important. There's 2 chests over there.
And CeroX opting not to do the Hammered Yump, so probably will skip out on the Spike Hellway chest then. Let's hope for their sake it's nothing big.
Yeah, we'll have to see what else he can grab here. It's his first bottle from pod. Nope, it's the second bottle from pod. I apologize.
And just a small key to Ice Palace. And the Quakefish giving us a single arrow as well. The okay guy checking that.
Yeah, not really paying off. Let's see what he does with the keys that he has left. Grabs the Quake Medallion. We need that for Turtle Rock, so that's a good find. And it looks like CeroX is saying, okay, I'm going to be skipping out on the Helmosaur King for now.
Oh, looks like he's gonna be skipping. Yeah. Oh, wait.
No, he's thinking about it. Yep, looks like he's skipping the big key vanilla location.
All right. Well, let's hope that key or that chest doesn't have anything important for him.
Yeah, definitely a gamble. You never know what's in there. It might be a piece of heart or something, a map, a compass that you don't need. Or it might be a super important item, like an ice rod maybe.
It looks like Problem's taking a Death Warp inside Palace of Darkness. And the OK guy is going to be the first one into Tower of Hera with that small key as well. However, doesn't have a fire source as of yet. Never went to Eastern.
Yep, does not have that fire on, and we saw Problems running back in here as well. Both of these runners have been checked 12 out of 14 locations. I'm not sure which chest Problem skipped.
You know, I don't recall.
Oh, I'm sure chat will tell us.
Looks like Gem is going to be our next one over into Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see which chest he will check or not check. Okay, guy making short work of the Troll Dome here, not getting knocked off for anything.
Very good fight there from the OK guy. Both Problems and CeroX will likely be in the Helmosaur fight at the same time here.
Yeah, they're very close together, while Gem is now just dipping into pod for the first time, as you were saying.
I think the OK guy is going to come over here and check to see what Turtle Rock medallion is.
Yeah, when you're over here, might as well open up the warp for later and check out which medallion you need. Maybe it's also ether, so I might already be able to open it up.
Alright, and both Problems and CeroX not having any issues with King Helmosaur here. Picking up a heart container and their first of the 5-6 crystals here.
Yeah, and you know, even though we're almost an hour into the seed by now, I'd still say that heart container is not unwelcome.
Oh, definitely not. Ooh, Gem deciding to go straight for Helmosaur here. Very interesting play.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice. He decided, okay, I'm going to be killing the boss anyway, so might as well do that first. And then check out all the chests that interest me from the front.
Yes, that means that Gem will either be looking for a Death Warp out of here, or probably just save and quit once he checks the other chests. And the OK guy finally making the play into Eastern Palace, and will be probably a little upset just now finding the fire rod, considering he's made 2 trips up to Death Mountain into Tower of Hera even.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he really would have liked to have that fire source earlier, and considering he was checking out Sazral's hut earlier, and then fluted away, he's probably not too happy about finding the fire out here.
Looks like CeroX is cleaning up some of these overworld locations. Just checked Stumpy there, getting a piece of heart. And looks like Problems may be heading over to Desert Palace now.
Yeah, with the small key. Might as well check it out. Also gonna be grabbing his cane of Samaria here before he goes into desert.
Yeah, and he'll be the first of our runners to show us what's on the east side of Desert as well.
Jen grabbing his crystal from the King Helmasaur fight, now making his way through the Bowlock section, I believe a second time already.
Yeah, it's a really good way to conserve keys. I mean, it takes a little bit more time, but if it means that you can complete the all the checks in the dungeon, you know, it's well worth it.
Yeah, even if it takes a little bit more time than just going straight there. It's a lot quicker than, you know, having to go look for that last key and then coming all the way back here.
So from CeroX, we see CeroX checking the hammer pegs here, grabbing their Misery Mire key, and is going to be coming back here to turn in the blacksmith. So they'll have their flute here very shortly.
Yeah, with a fire source in hand, he could theoretically check a lot more of Misery Mire than the Okay Guy could.
Yeah, there's those two chest locations on the left-hand side. And the Okay Guy with that fire rod is going to head into Skull Woods and clean that up here. The east side of desert, there was just a compass, so how much area in a heart container? So east side of desert, nothing really all that important.
Nope, just a dud.
Oh, that's right. CeroX has the powder, so we'll get a bat check here too.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
And just a map to swamp.
No, we already know it's a green pendant. Not really what we were hoping for.
All right, and while we are just going over some of the locations that we've already seen from all these runners, if you guys like what you're seeing here, make sure you give all four of these guys a follow. The Okay Guy, Problems IRL, Gem, and CeroX putting on a fantastic show here today. Show them some support, drop them a follow, and you know, continue supporting them. They're all great runners, great guys. So share that love.
Yeah, and while we're at it, I also want to give a quick shout out to both of our trackers here today. Walter the Fourth, I'm guessing, and 7XOR6, helping us out keeping track of all the items. Not an easy task, having to also keep track of all the keys that these guys are finding.
Yeah, tracking Keysanity races, no easy feat. So thank you to both of our trackers, and as well to my fellow co-commentator here, Herfy Durfy.
Well, thank you, and of course, big thanks to you, Echoes, for commentating with me.
looks like CeroX is going to also be heading in to finish up Skull Woods here.
Oh, unfortunately, gets bumped into the little bumper here.
And I believe now we will finally get a chance to see what Problems and CeroX left behind in the vanilla big key chest here from Gem.
Yeah, we could quite possibly see that. It looks like he's on his way back there. It's the only thing he hasn't checked yet.
And Problems is picking up their flute right now. Meanwhile, the OK Guy picks up their first crystal from Mothula. Whew, this is one race we got going on here. So much going on. I'm loving it.
Yeah, everything is really spread out. These guys have been not really in the same spot for a whole lot, if they've even been in the same spot. And this is across 2 different races with 4 guys competing at a pretty high level, I'd say.
Alright, and Problems activating their flute. So we have, looks like everybody now having their flute. Actually, I don't think Gem has their flute yet. Do they?
Nope, Gem
I know
Xerox.
CeroX does.
Yeah, I don't think Gem has bothered with the fetch quests at all. He hasn't brought back the blacksmith or checked out anything else there. I'm not sure what he was doing in Mini Molon Cave. I also believe he's already checked the Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, maybe a little stuck as to what to check now? Oh, that's what he was doing in Mini Moldorm Cave. He was setting up the fake flipper with the boots.
Oh, beautiful. Well, it just goes to show these guys are a lot better than I am.
So as long as Gem jumps southward off these ledges, he'd be able to maintain the water walking, if I'm not mistaken here. Oh, looks like he's just gonna fake flipper.
Yeah, apparently good enough. Enough showing off for him. We've now got the OK Guy finally going through pod. He's going to be picking up a couple of keys and random other things that he might want to have. At the very least, the lamp.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing here from Problems IRL. We get our first Turtle Rock dive here.
Yeah, I think this is a very good play. I mean, these guys have pretty much everything they need, at least item-wise. 2 keys, you know, not optimal of what you want to have, but still a pretty good start.
Alright, do we know if Pedestal is dead? Pedestal is not dead yet. There's still a couple items. You know, there's some big keys that we're still looking for. You know, Ganon Tower big key, Ice Rod could be there. You know, so there's still quite a few items that can be there on the pedestal. So, not dead yet.
Yeah, and despite finding the book, we haven't had anyone really check the pedestal, mostly because no real convenient way to route it in with them still missing the mirror.
Yeah, I think 2 things at this point that we can definitely rule out is mirror and flippers not on the pedestal. Both of them are needed for Ice Palace as well. Well, for Swamp Palace, and then Ice Palace by logic requiring the flippers to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gem is also heading back up Death Mountain. Are we going to see another Turtle Rock dip here?
You know, I think it's a good play, as I was saying earlier, and Gem definitely seems to be agreeing. Maybe he wants to check back into Tower of Hera first?
And the Chain Chomp room had the big key for Turtle Rock.
Oh, wow. That's gonna pose an interesting question to these guys with the number of keys that they have right now.
It is. I think if I'm Problems, I can get to a lot more item locations if I just steal this key here and head back to Laser Bridge. So I think that's what we're going to do. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, he's a big advocate for skipping that chest.
Yeah, I think in general, this is probably a very good decision.
And I'm also really interested to see what Gem finds here in the basement of Tower of Hera. Looks like he's setting up that death warp here.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky here with his fire out child. Needs to be careful with the magic that he has. I know there's a refill in there, so not too bad. Don't get killed before you grab that. Okay, only 3 bombs.
Alright, and in the big chest in Turtle Rock, there was the castle tower key. That's our second key. So, not that runners would want to go there, but we can go to Aghanim now.
Yeah, there's another chest left there, right? Theoretically, at least. Alright, so the okay guy also deciding to skip a few things and finish off King Helmasaur first before grabbing the last couple of things that he can with the keys that he has for Pod.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I mean, this is a crystal dungeon, so you're bound to find all 6 keys if you absolutely need them. Ooh, and there's the mirror on Laser Bridge.
That is a huge find. Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Problem showing off some pretty decent laser skips here. It's taken a couple hits, but for the most part, it's been pretty spot on.
I got a timely refill here with the piece of heart.
And that's also going to lead to a Mimic Cave check here, too.
Yeah, immediately putting that mirror to good use.
Yeah, it's really easy to forget about Mimic Cave if you find Mirror on Laser Bridge or in that first chest in the roller room. Oh, and there's the flippers!
Oh man, so Turtle Rock is the place to be.
Turtle Rock, that just opened up a lot for Problems IRL. That brings, Ice Palace technically into the logic. We can go into Swamp Palace, check that first chest. We don't have the small key yet, but yeah, that just opens up this quite a bit. There's mirror locations we can check now. There's that key on Zora Ledge as well.
Oh yeah, there's a key on the floating island as well. So this really was the one missing puzzle piece, it looks like, for opening up the seat a little more.
Yep, and I think Problem skipped the first two chests coming in here on the right side in the torch room, so I think we're heading back there now. Or maybe not? Oh, he's coming right back out here so we can check the floating island.
Yeah, good on him for remembering that. Wants to get that out of the way right away.
So it's a bit, I'd say it's probably a little bit faster coming this way than climbing back up Death Mountain, so... Alright, and that is a big key to Desert.
Definitely gonna need that one. CeroX is showing us more of Misery Mire here. Let's see what the left side holds for us. Piece of heart only so far.
And I think Problems is also going to be showing us a play into Spike Cave. Well, looks like he's reconsidering that.
Oh, you remembered there was a key up here too. And it's a Swamp Hollow small key. Alright,
Oh, that
finding
is
all the
huge.
right keys.
And CeroX showing us what is on the left side of Misery Mire that was locked behind the torches here.
Yeah, probably one of the most annoying chests in the game to get to, but if you're here and you're still looking for stuff, you have to check it.
Oh, and just a map. Yeah, at this point, I think Problems may be gonna... Well, may head into Swamp. Pulling up the Flute. Oh, we're gonna get a Misery Mire check here. Or Mire area check from Problems. And meanwhile, we do have Gem on the laser bridge, just picked up his mirror.
And yep, hopefully he also remembers the Mimic Cave. Meanwhile, it looks like the OK guy also on his way up to make the Turtle Rock play here. And Gem remembers. Gonna be grabbing his flippers as well. So just these two items, the flippers and the mirror, open up the big key to Desert, the small key to Swamp, another small key on Zora Ledge that we have yet to see, and apparently the Ice Rod and the Checkerboard Cave, which we will also need to kill Trinex and Turtle Rock.
Wow, so that mirror was locking a lot of progression. So, what are we looking for now? If we're looking at these runners, we found the Desert Palace Big Key. We're still missing the Eastern Palace Big Key. We have Thieves Town Big Key, Misery Mire Big Key, and Ganon's Tower Big Key. And I think that's just about it as far as required items. We do have the Mushroom and the Shovel, which could lead us to, fetch quests for those, but not much left for us to find.
No, we're looking a lot better than we did just 10 or 20 minutes ago. At first, it really looked like this seed is going to be very stingy with the keys, but just finding one or two items really unlocked the whole mess for them. I'm also remembering that the floating island had a big key. Very good.
I'm sure he'll be happy to find that big key. And we have CeroX in the basement of Tower of Hera, and the TheOkayGuy looking like they are going to be heading into Turtle Rock now.
Yeah, Problems in the meantime has made his way over to Desert and is going to finish that up. Has yet to check the big chest, I believe, is what's left there.
Problem's gonna have a little bit longer of a fight here, having to use the Master Sword, not having enough magic with this Fire Rod.
Yeah, unfortunately he hasn't grabbed that Tempered Sword yet, but still doing a really good job with the Master Sword here.
And Gem is immediately following suit. It's going to be heading into Desert now.
Yeah, Gem and Problems really playing very similarly here, the seed. Alright, Gem clearing out the east side of Desert here first. Of course, he wants to check as many item locations as he can.
Alright, and Problem's heading into Cave 45. We'll get the chance to see what is in here. Another small key. And that is to Turtle Rock. So that is, I believe, all the small keys to Turtle Rock now.
Yeah, I think so. That should be all of them. Really interesting to see how many keys were locked behind that mirror.
Yeah, that mirror was the, excuse me for saying this, but was the key to the seed.
Alright, so Gem now on his way to finish up Desert Palace. CeroX checking out Spy Cave. Not going to be too happy about what he finds here. It looks like we might be getting a swamp tip from Problems here.
Yeah, I think that's the next logical location to check. So many item locations in here. We could find, theoretically, everything else that we need to finish the seed could potentially be here in Swamp.
Very true.
And Gem cleans up the Land Molus fight, picking up 10 arrows for their troubles. Very good job there. And CeroX going to pick up their Tempered Sword here from the sewers here in Escape.
Yeah, and considering that the silver arrows are still at large, we're probably all going to be happy that these guys have the Tempered Sword available to them.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see when Problems decides to go back there to check that one chest. It's an easy chest to forget about.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, he might not ever go back to that one chest. Considering where and how quickly he finds all the items and keys that he still needs. I mean, really, he's only looking for keys anymore, isn't he?
Yeah, at this point, all we need are keys. And speaking of keys, the TheOkayGuy is picking up their mirror now. very nice laser skips there.
Gem deciding to go into Ice Palace. I think it's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad choice. I mean, every choice of Ice Palace or Swamp Palace, both of them are, pendants. So, I think it's really a coin toss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, and there's a big key to Misery Mire. I think the only thing that, at least in my opinion, that would take me to Swamp over Ice Palace is having the big key and being able to fully check everything in Swamp Palace at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You never know if you're going to find that Ice Palace big key, and if you do, what if there's some sort of big piece of progression in that big chest?
Yeah, it never feels good to leave anything behind because it leaves the possibility of a double or maybe even a triple dip open, and that's something you obviously want to avoid as much as possible.
And CeroX heading into Turtle Rock now as well.
Yeah, so really, despite diverging a little bit from all the other runners, he's still keeping good pace and going to be picking up just the items that he needs, basically, with the flippers on the mirror.
And TheOkayGuy remembering to go into Mimic Cave here, picking up their flippers.
Yeah, very nice. Meanwhile, Problems is making his way over to the left side of Swamp, the most annoying side.
Ooh, and there's a big key to Thieves Town.
Alright, we definitely want that one.
So at this
magic.
I think at this point all we're missing now is the Eastern Palace big key and the Ganon's Tower big key.
Yeah, it certainly looks like we're not too far away from our go mode, and there's a good chance we find at least one more piece of all of that in here in Swamp or Problems.
We do have another pod small key from Gem.
Yeah, sadly a little late for these guys, but we'll take it.
Yeah, it looks like TheOkayGuy has remembered to go and pick up that big key on the floating island. And just more health in the southern chests here in Swamp. I didn't quite catch what Gem picked up in that chest there. I don't think it was anything too important.
No, but Problems picks up the Eastern Palace big key here in the push block chest in Swamp, so Swamp is super duper extra required.
Yeah, and if the big key to Ganon's Tower isn't Ganon's Tower, then, Problems at this point can finish up all the crystals and go there.
I mean, really, at this point, I'm expecting the big key to Ganon's Tower to be an Argus.
Yeah, with how many big keys are in Swamp, it would not surprise me, or even the green pendant.
Oh yeah, that would be a convenient thing as well.
All right, TheOkayGuy getting their ice rod here. And a very clean Argus fight, as well as a good, clean Cold Stare fight from ProblemsIRL and Gem.
Yeah, Gem unfortunately picking the pendant dungeon that is, you know, the less useful one in this case, but not a bad choice. And considering he's racing against CeroX, we're not too worried about him.
All right, now where does ProblemsIRL go from here? Looks like we will be seeing the play into Eastern Palace now.
Yeah, I like this. It's a pretty convenient Flute location. You're quickly going to finish it off. It just needs to get to the back. I'm going to assume... That's a good question. I'm going to assume he's going to do Thieves Town next, probably.
You know, probably route in Thieves Town next and finish off with the Turtle Rock play. Or, well, I don't know. We could see Misery Mire next. There's a lot of locations in there. I don't know.
And it's we'll have to see. Well, we see the TheOkayGuy making very short work of the Landmola here with both the bow and the tempered sword.
Yeah, it looks like Gem is going to be checking the first couple chests in Agus Tower here. While the TheOkayGuy finishes up Landmola, picks up their crystal from Desert. And CeroX is about ready to pick up their mirror. Let's hope they remember about Mimic Cave.
And Gem is actually heading up here. Can't believe my eyes.
Alright, and looks like Gem is going back to Sanctuary. Where does Gem go next?
Please, Gem. I know you like to avoid the left side of Swamp, but now we're avoiding Swamp just in general.
Oh, and Problem's getting the shovel from the Armos Knights.
That's not something you want to have.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to see there is a fetch quest. I mean, better now than in Ganon's Tower or Turtle Rock, but still not something you want to see. Now, did the TheOkayGuy pick up the big key to Misery Mire, or are we going to be seeing a triple dip from the TheOkayGuy here?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think Problems is the only one with the big key to Misery Mire at the moment.
Yeah, it's a really interesting call. I mean, if the TheOkayGuy doesn't have the Misery Mire key, it's very interesting coming back in here just to check 2 locations. When you still have, you know, 2 dungeons in Ice and Swamp that have a lot of, you know, potential progression.
Yeah, especially considering that you're gonna have to come back to Misery Mire either way. If it was a pendant, you could say, you know, okay, whatever. He gambles on skipping the big chest and the boss or whatever. But it's a crystal. You're definitely coming back for that boss fight at least.
Poor CeroX in the bottom here, getting dead rocked. I know your pain, buddy.
Yeah, not having a whole lot of luck with these cabbages either. Alright, it looks like Problems decided that the next step after Eastern would be to finish up Misery Mire.
Yeah, I don't blame him. There's a lot more locations in Misery Mire than, you know, Thieves Town, as well as saving Turtle Rock for last is typically one of the better plays, so you can just go right into Ganon's Tower. So,
Yeah, I'm sure he wants to save Turtle Rock for last, especially since he's pretty much full cleared it, except for Trinex, so... You know, just make a straight shot to the back, kill the boss, and immediately walk over to Ganon's tower is pretty much the best routing you can get there.
Alright, we do see Gem finally picking up the flute and getting that activated here. So we'll get to see him turn in the purple chest here. It's gonna take the quick route down to 7.
I think none of our other runners checked this, right? They got the flute and then they were like, alright, that's really nice, I'm gonna go and activate my flute and forget about this chest that only has a compass.
Yeah, and the okay guy going into Thieves Town, not realizing they don't have the big key yet.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
So little does the okay guy know, all they have to do is go to Swamp and all their dreams will be will be realized here.
Yeah, he really does want to get into that Swamp Palace. I'm not sure why, but it's a little unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I mean if this wasn't Keysanity, I can see not going to Swamp or not going to Ice. You know, with them being pendant dungeons, but you know, can't rule out pendant dungeons in Keysanity.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have the Swamp Palace key yet.
Chat is saying he has it. I'm not sure myself, to be honest, but it looks like he wants to bring back the purple chest first while Gem is grabbing his ice rod, so Turtle Rock now also available to him. He and CeroX basically in the same area, just in different worlds right now.
Alright, and Problems is off to face Vitreous now. Now, unless Problems finds another sword upgrade throughout here, or, you know, finds a silver arrow somewhere, it's gonna be a little tough going into Ganon's tower. 'Cause I don't see, at this point, Problems checking the chest and escape.
No, I think we can pretty much rule out him going there. His saving grace at the moment, I mean, other than his undoubted skill at this game, is that he has half magic, which makes it a little more bearable to do Master Sword Silverless Ganon. But optimally, he would like to find that last sword upgrade, or at the very least, the silver arrows.
And looks like the okay guy may finally be heading on over to Swamp now. He's gonna double check his map here.
Yeah, definitely looks like it. Really tried avoiding those pendant dungeons where he could, but just didn't pay off for him this time, unfortunately. Problems showing us a beautiful Vitreous fight, 8 arrows to the big one. Grabs a piece of heart, fills him up.
Yeah, Problem's looking pretty healthy now. Red mail, 14 hearts. Gem is shortly behind him here.
And
we do finally...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I apologize. I was just saying, we do finally get a chance to see the okay guy dipping into Swamp Palace here.
Yeah, gonna get all his dreams fulfilled, or more likely gonna be not very happy about finding all these big keys in here.
Alright, Problem's making the dip into Thieves Town. We do have CeroX checking these mirror locations after going into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I think he's definitely on a very good pace here. Gonna be checking all the needed locations, gonna be grabbing another small key here that he's gonna be very happy about. Oh no, but chat telling us that CeroX unfortunately missed the swamp key up on Spectacle Rock.
Oh, that is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, that is sadly gonna halt his progression for quite a while unless he remembers it.
Yeah, because that small key is the bottleneck here. It'll open up Swamp and the remainder of these dungeons. And the okay guy getting that Misery Mire big key. Probably not going to be happy about the triple dip, but at the very least picks that up.
Yeah, and with the other keys that he's gonna find in here, he's probably gonna be shaking his head.
And in the back of Thieves Town here, Problems has found the magic cape.
Oh, and it looks like CeroX is on his way back to Turtle Rock immediately. I can only hope that he remembers to check over on Spectacle Rock, or maybe, I don't know if he's done, I think he's done Spy Cave already, so that's not going to lead him over there. But I just hope he has a chance to check back up on Spectacle Rock Cave, or on Spectacle Rock itself, and grab that small key.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, this is a step in the right direction for CeroX.
The problem with missing keys instead of missing items, like you would in normal rando, is that without the required items, you can't really get into a dungeon or not too far. But without the keys, you more often have the problem that you could theoretically check into everything, like the okay guy did with Misery Mire, for example. But then you run the risk of having to triple dip something.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes things like what the okay guy did and dipping into Misery Mire, sometimes they pay off pretty big. So this time around, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate. It's really, none of these decisions are bad decisions because you can never know beforehand. Only in hindsight can you say, oh, okay, that was a bad decision that I made because I now know that the keys were there and not where I looked.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Randomizer, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that is 50 rupees from Blind Problems, picking up their 6th crystal here. All they have left is Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him, he's definitely gonna check everything he can in Ganon's Tower if he doesn't find the big key on Trinex by chance. But he's definitely gonna hope for the silvers or another sword as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, Problems is a fairly good runner. I mean, I'm confident in his ability to do Master Sword Ganon, but anything to make that fight a bit easier is very welcome indeed.
Yeah, and even if maybe not easier for all of these guys, at least quicker. And we see that Problems is checking a couple more locations that are sort of, on the way, kind of, maybe.
Alright, and meanwhile, his opponent, TheOkayGuy, is on to Argus now. Gem has finally dipped into Swamp Palace as well. We'll be finding up all of their keys here.
Yep. And CeroX, as we said earlier, has made the decision to kill Trinex off right away. With the knowledge that he has right now, definitely not a bad decision, as we just explained. Just, yeah, we really gotta hope that he picks up that small key for Swamp Palace, otherwise he's gonna be locked out of a lot of important things.
Yeah, and TheOkayGuy there showing off an amazing quick kill of Argus there. Now, I don't think I've seen Problems turn in that green pendant. I mean, not that he would need to, but that's still a location that he kind of skipped over there.
Yeah, very true. That is always a possibility, and I mean, we say he might not need to, but for all we know, CeroX might be holding the big key to Ganon's tower for some reason.
Yeah, and TheOkayGuy's going to give us that check here.
Nope, just a piece of heart.
Alright, so CeroX about ready to head into the Trinex fight. Should be pretty simple, having that tempered sword. Problem's right on his heels, though.
Yeah, not too far behind, we see the TheOkayGuy heading back into Eastern Palace. Gonna be finishing that up. And Gem just picked up his Eastern Palace big key and is now heading into the Argus fight.
So let's see if Problems remembers that. Yeah, he does remember that chest he left behind.
And CeroX also making short work of Trinex here, having no problems at all.
And Gem cleans up that fight, and ooh, it is a key to Aghanims Tower.
Oh man.
So I think from what we've seen at this point, Ganon's Tower big key is likely in Ganon's Tower, or it could be behind Mushroom if we find Mushroom.
Yeah, I mean, we've also seen the shovel from Problems, but I don't think he's checked the dig spot yet. So it could be a bunch of fetch quests, right?
Yeah, that isn't a possibility as well. I forgot about that shovel.
So we got the shovel, and we got maybe the mushroom that we could be finding. We've checked the bat already. I think we've checked both the tablets already as well. Here comes a Pyramid Fairy check from CeroX. We haven't seen that yet as well.
Yeah, one thing to note, CeroX forgot once again about that small key up on Spectacle Rock.
Oh, yeah.
So
Without
that, we're still gonna be in need of that Swamp Palace small key to open up the seed for him. And TheOkayGuy immediately taking that shovel and going to check that shovel spot.
Yeah, so we'll see if this is maybe the last puzzle piece that we need here. Nope.
And it is not.
It's golden as well, but it's not a big key.
Yeah, you see that gold and your heart kind of skips a beat thinking, oh, this is it, but nope.
Gem now finishing up the left side of Swamp, checking his last two locations. Gonna be grabbing another big key here that he needs.
And the Pyramid Fairy not having anything either.
Nope, and it looks like the okay guy wants to check up Aga's tower now.
And with that, ProblemsIRL finishes up Turtle Rock, gets their 7th crystal, and will likely get a chance to see what is in Ganon's tower. Is the big key there?
Yeah, I guess this is one of the rare seeds where we could actually start maybe a guessing game for the big key in Ganon's tower. We can't for sure say that it's there, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys wanted to throw some guesses in here, you know, if it's in Ganon's tower, you can put in your, you know, the traditional 1 through 22 locations. If you think it's outside of Ganon's tower, then just throw in the zeros. Why not? Let's have some fun with this.
Yeah, that works. I usually pick number 8, so we'll see if that means anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I like number 11. 11 seems pretty good.
I'm seeing a lot of zeros, not a lot of people believing that the big key will be in here.
Yeah, not a lot of people have faith about this Ganon's tower. Ooh, that is a Ganon's tower small key, though.
And CeroX is also checking up Aghanim's tower here, it looks like. Oh, Gemma's going to be finishing up Eastern.
Yeah, CeroX is going all the way through here, betting on the Lumberjack Cave.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anyone check it.
Yeah, this is you know, unfortunate for CeroX. I think this is one of the last things they can do aside from checking that key up on Spectacle Rock. And there we have it. There's again our big key for Problems IRL.
There it was. That was chest number 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah, that was chest number 4. So Problems on his way up into the gauntlet. Now we'll likely see the 2 chests in the mini Helmosaur room and the chest before and after Moldorm 2. Probably looking for either a sword upgrade or silvers.
Yeah, Problems definitely would like to have those. As we were saying earlier, we have no doubts that he can do a Master Sword Sylvanas Ganon. But, you know, anything they can grab to make it a little easier or quicker for yourself.
Yeah. And, you know, those chests are immediately on the way, so there's no reason not to check them if you're still needing either a sword upgrade or those silvers.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, really not too far behind here, finishing up Thieves Town, and then needs to do Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's not too much, not too far behind. You know, if there's one thing that I think went against the okay guy in this race, will be actually the triple dip into Misery Mire. I think that was the biggest thing that hurt him here.
Yeah, he started out really well with that sequence break up Death Mountain, finding all these items, but then he skipped out on Eastern for a long while, which held his fire source, which kind of kept him back from a little bit of stuff. And then the triple dip into Mire was definitely very, very hurtful. And we're getting a blind pedestal pull from Jam for the silvers.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. I am in awe.
That is amazing.
That. Oh man. Alright, so we definitely know that Problems is not going to be finding the silvers anywhere here. So all he can hope for is maybe the 4th sword upgrade.
Yeah, that's all that can be up here now. Which is really interesting. By the logic, the game wants you. The logic wants you to have the silver arrows to defeat Ganon. So by the logic, it was a pedestal required seed. Whew, CeroX picking up the mushroom in the lumberjack cave. It's gonna just lead him on a wild goose chase here.
Yeah, I mean, after this, he's probably going to be locked out of anything that he can check, so I'm hoping that he remembers that key up there. If he starts rechecking item locations or dipping into dungeons, if he hasn't already been, there we go, not very happy about that piece of heart.
And there's a big key to Skull Woods. So 2 more chests for Problems if he wants that Tempered Sword. If not, he's gonna have to do Silverless Master Sword Ganon.
Yeah, probably, or not even probably, definitely the most annoying way to kill Ganon. Only 300 rupees in here, so 1 more chest remaining. So CeroX remembers the small key up on the Zora ledge. I don't think it's a key that we actually needed for anything.
And
But
Moldorm not playing nice, staying up in that corner.
yeah, problems, having some problems. No pun intended.
And there's our last big key.
Big key to Ice Palace.
So
CeroX picking up a small key to Skull Woods here on the Zora ledge.
yeah, Silverless Master Sword Ganon it is for Problems IRL.
CeroX is back up on Death Mountain, so I'm hoping that he remembers. Nope, he's fluting away.
That may have been a double for Problems.
Very nice.
Very nice fight there from Problems IRL on Aghanim 2, and we are into Ganon, folks.
Yep, definitely a sub 2 hour here for our first place finisher Problems, so barring any horrible accidents. Master Sword Silverless Ganon, you know, as we said a number of times, we have no doubt Problems can do it, but he can be a horrible troll.
So this is going to be 12 spins in the first phase as well as the second phase, 4 spins in the third phase, and then 24 in the fourth phase. It's going to be a decent fight here.
Yeah, it is definitely going to take some time.
And Problems does have to be a little careful here. He's gotten hit by the Trident a couple times. He's getting some nice doubles here and gets a really nice setup here in the corner.
Yeah, that's a perfect position, but still needs to be careful. He does have red mail, which makes it a little more bearable. I think he still has a red goo at the very least left as well, but you know, you don't want to overdo it because the death can be costly, especially with the spins that you have to do.
And we are into phase 3. Meanwhile, his opponent is on the Vitreous fight now. Now, we do see Gem is checking some of these mirror spots. He is actually in go mode at this point, so I'm curious, you know, with silver arrows and the temper sword, why we're checking some of these other locations here.
He's still hoping to find the big key for Ganon's Tower, not in Ganon's Tower,
Oh, that's right.
which is wrong, but, you know, he's thinking he's getting trolled, I guess. Alright, Problems is progressing on this Ganon fight, doing very nicely, getting... Oh, as soon as I say something. CeroX finds himself back in Ice Palace, really the only thing that he can do right now. Unless he remembers that small key that's up on the Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, at this point, you know, with CeroX, they did miss out on that small key on Spectacle Rock. Now, it is a pretty easy key to forget about, especially when you get the mirror late, and that was like a very early check for you. It's really easy to forget something like that, so it's just unfortunate that that's the case here for CeroX.
And we saw the okay guy checking pedestal and finding out that the silvers and deciding, nope, I don't need those. Problem should be getting close here. Oh, and gets the last hit in. So that is it for him.
Yeah, GG for Problems IRL. We'll get you the official SRL time as he enters the doorway here. And that is an official SRL time and a first place finish of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 59 seconds for Problems IRL. GG.
Yep, and Problem should be joining us here shortly for an interview. Oh, there he is. Hey there, Problems. GG. Congrats on your win.
Oh my god, my heart.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Oh my god, I felt so bad. This was just one of those seeds that made you feel bad about yourself the entire time. Like, I still don't really know what to think. I made that T-Rock play really early, and I felt really good about it. And then I fluted over to Meyer and found the ice rod and the key right next to each other. And I was like, no way. There's so much. Like, I went to Skull Woods, I found nothing. Then I went to Eastern and found the fire rod, and like that just kept happening the entire run. It was terrible.
Yeah, I think you were not alone with that fate, really, judging by how all of the other guys are playing this out. To give you a little bit more detail on your opponent, what really did Kenny in was that he triple dipped into Meyer, and he kind of skipped out on Eastern for a long time, so he didn't have Fire Rod for a while. He started out really well with the sequence break up to Death Mountain very early on, finding the boots and the bow. And then, you know, the Moon Pearl and everything. The Dark World access was so early for you guys.
Oh yeah, Dark World. Seeds like this are always weird because, like, you get Dark World access early and suddenly you have so many options and you kind of don't know where to go, and it's a crap shot as to, you know, what the right place is. It was really weird. And even after Death Mountain, I didn't feel too good because I was like, well, if he went early, then that's bad for me because he found boots. And if he went late, he probably found the flute before me. Because after Death Mountain, I knew flute was either Purple Chest, Breadsmiths, or Bat. So yeah, that also was kind of awkward.
Yeah, he was actually the first one to get both the boots and the flute. So I think you got the boots probably about 30, maybe probably around 30 minutes after your opponent did.
Yeah, I figured that because I really hate going up to Death Mountain without access to it, because it means forfeiting the flute 50% of the time. So I really dislike that. But at that point, I had so many like single spots left that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna assume the next item is Death Mountain Axes and go up. Unfortunately, the lamp was up there, and then I was like, oh god, I missed the flute. And that didn't really feel good.
Yeah, but despite the seed being pretty trolly and not very friendly to you guys, you still pulled it out. You finished first out of all 4 of these guys.
Yeah, and everybody else had tempered sword even.
Oh damn, what was that?
There's in the chest, the lone chest in the sewers.
Oh god, no.
And just in case you wondered, the silvers which Chem got were on the pedestal.
Oh damn. Yeah, I wasn't too worried about the silvers, but I really would have liked the sword. That sewer's chest. I accidentally killed the green guard, so I had nothing to death warp with, and I had blue mail and 2 hearts, so I was like, let's just hope there's nothing in that chest. Tempered sword would have sped me up so much if I found that early. Damn.
Yeah, that really would have been helpful. Alright, and it looks like we've got the okay guy now heading into Ganon's tower. Let's see if he also decides to go for the right side. I mean, at that point when you went in there, you were probably, as well as we were, pretty sure that the big key kind of had to be in there, right?
I actually had a lot of options. It was actually pretty gambling. Like I never went to Zora. I forgot to turn in the green pendant. I never checked Shovel. I still had 3 items at Hyrule Castle. And I never went to Ice Palace. So it was more like 50-50, I felt. Finding that small key immediately felt pretty good. Because, you know, it gave me access to basically all of GT. But like finding that big key finally was a huge relief. Because I had so many spots open. Especially Zora had me really worried, because that's one of those that you usually check pretty early, but there was never the time. There was like never a good time in this seed for me to do it.
Yeah, there was also another small key on Zora Ledge, which only, I believe, CeroX got. Obviously useless in the end, but it was a Skullwood small key in case you were wondering.
Damn.
And unfortunately for Kenny here, he decided to go left side in GT, so he's
no.
probably going to be fighting up until Ice Armos, and then, you know, check on the right side, hopefully before Tile Room.
That's pretty unfortunate.
Meanwhile, Gem, after blind pulling the pedestal for the silver arrows, finishes up Turtle Rock in his last crystal.
I was thinking about that, you know, because I'm kind of, you know, I feel like I'm kind of infamous for going to Ice Palace early, and I was thinking about going to Ice Palace at like the 30-minute mark or so, right after finding the fire rod. But I was like, for once in my life, let's not get baited into Ice Palace. I think what ultimately saved me was the fact that I found the map for Ice Palace and I knew it was the blue pendant.
Yeah.
I think if I hadn't found the map, I would have gone.
I mean, I think it was a very good decision this time that you didn't go, because as far as I remember, it really didn't have, like, anything at all.
Yeah, everything in Ice Palace was pretty much garbage, and there's the Butter Sword in Rando Room.
No, should have gone left as well, Problems.
I mean, that Tempered Sword would have helped, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I mean, eventually I had the choice between going to Swamp or going to Ice Palace, and obviously you go to Ice Palace in that spot, especially lacking the big key for Ice. And then, like, Swamp was just so stacked, it was ridiculous.
It really was.
It had like 3 or 4 big keys.
Yeah, that mirror that you got in Turtle Rock really kind of opened up everything for you and kind of cleared the way
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the ice rod was mirror locked, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was really worried the whole run because of that ice rod being there. I only just realized that it was actually required double dip into T-Rock. Oh my god.
Yeah, and you are the only runner finishing under 2 hours in the seed. No, we can't confirm it now that we're 10 seconds past that point.
It feels pretty good, not gonna lie. I made that T-Rock gamble, which in the end I think was actually pretty bad. I had 2 small keys, and I went up to T-Rock, and I was like, "Oh, I can go to Laser Hall. That's pretty much pretty good idea to go there." And then, like halfway towards Turtle Rock, I realized I didn't have the big key, and then I couldn't get past the lava room.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was so close to T-Rock that I went in anyway, and it just happened to work out. But like in retrospect, I think that was a pretty bad play to go there.
Yeah, I mean, the mirror and then the flippers in Mimic Cave really kind of bailed you out there.
Yes, the big key most of all bailed me out because that was what led there in the first place.
Yeah, true. Well, you're now 3-0 in the tournament. Gotta be feeling pretty good about yourself, I guess.
Feels good. Yeah, feels good, especially after I got destroyed in the last tournament, in the fall tournament. I just had rotten luck in addition to actually playing pretty bad in a lot of the races I lost. But it actually feels good to be 3-0. I still gotta win at least one more though to even make the tiebreaker. But maybe I can manage to 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to get through this tournament with all the signups and only 8 people making it to the brackets, but
Yeah, for sure.
you're definitely on a very good way, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely well on your way to, just have to win one of your next 2 to get to that tiebreaker race. So.
Yeah, but it would obviously be a lot more comfortable to just win both.
Oh yeah.
So Kenny picks up his big key for Ganon Sour finally. Not very happy about that. 21 out of 27 locations checked so far. Yeah, Gem is making his way up the gauntlet right now. Just finished up land mode 2, and CeroX looks to be stuck. It doesn't look like he remembers that small key up on Spectacle Rock.
Oh no, what was that again? Oh, that was the swamp key, right?
Mm-hmm. And as you said earlier, Swamp was super stacked, so he's extremely stuck.
I'm still wondering after I found that mirror in T-Rock, like what the fastest way is to get to the floating island. Like I walked back through T-Rock and it didn't feel all that fast. I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to do from there. It was really awkward.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much quicker it would have been to... I mean, what other choice do you have? You can jump down somewhere.
Like the problem is that there's also that key on the Spectacle Rock, right? Like I gotta find a way to take both of these efficiently.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I save and quit to cave and then go up and grab that key, then I gotta run all the way to T-Rock again to get to Dark World. Like it's very awkward.
Yeah, it's no fun. So, we've got 2 of our runners making their way through the gauntlet in Ganon's Tower. Gem now arriving at Trolldorn 2, while unfortunately it looks like CeroX has either taken a good long while to think about where he could have forgotten something, or maybe taking a little break here to figure out what to do.
Yeah, maybe stopping to collect their thoughts, go over in their head what they may have missed. And Gem about ready to head into Aghanim 2, and the Okay Guy is now heading towards their first Wizard room here.
Have you been paying attention to any of the other matches problems? Do you know who your next opponent might be?
I haven't watched. I watched like while we were waiting for the race earlier. Like Okay Guy and Gem both were like, I'm watching this Furame race, Furame Almagas, which was a crazy race.
It was insane, yeah.
So I know Furame went 3-0. It was Furame that won, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else is 3-0. I'm not really worried about that too much. It's kind of like Monday morning, I get up, I pull up the bracket, and I see who my opponent is.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best way to approach it anyway, because you can't really influence it, so... Alright, looks like Kenny's making sure to pick up everything on his way that he can. Let's go for that 100% GP completion. Well, I think he already skipped out on the Chester too.
And we have CeroX now checking the pedestal here, seeing that it is silver arrows on the pedestal. But at this point, I think CeroX is pretty stuck.
Yeah, he... I don't know what could lead him up there to Spectacle Rock. He's checked everything else that's up there. He's done with Hera, he's checked the tablet, he's done Spy Cave. He's obviously grabbed the sword out of the Spectacle Rock Cave itself. I'm pretty sure he's just waiting for his opponent to finish up.
Yeah, I think at this point, yeah, it's unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. You forget a location, and you know, it's just the nature of rando. You know, a location that you check early on, you just forget about it.
Yeah, it just happens. I mean, maybe looks like he's changing to the flute. Maybe he had an epiphany or something, but. Jim, the only one with the silver arrows here.
All right, and with that, Gem has finished first place in their race. We'll get you the official SRL time here as he enters that door. And there we have it. Gem has finished in first place in their race with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 38 seconds. GG to Gem.
GG.
Yep, GG.
That's actually crazy to me that they see trip people up like this.
Yeah.
I guess I can really be happy that I didn't take that Ice Palace bait.
Yeah, Gem cleared out pretty much everything, and I think his biggest problem was that he stayed away from Swamp for so long. He chose Swamp instead of, he chose Ice Palace instead of Swamp, and then after that he, yeah, I don't know, he was kind of hesitating to go into Swamp, and that really cost him a lot of time, I think.
It's truly the most Gem play to not go to Swamp.
Yeah, I was saying, you know, we're used to him skipping the left side, but now just skipping the Swamp completely, that's, you know, a little over the top there. Alright, looks like he's here, so let me get him in. Hey there, Gem, GG. Congrats on your win.
GG, Gem.
GG.
How are you feeling after that seed?
I have no idea what props did, but it's magic, I think.
Yeah, Problems pretty much made the play onto Swamp and never went into Ice, and then did Silverless Master Sword Ganon.
Nice.
I also went to T-Rock early, which helped a lot, I guess.
Did you have Ice Rod and the third key when you went into T-Rock?
No, because the Ice Rod was mirror locked, and that was in T-Rock. I actually went to
right.
T-Rock before I even went into Meyer area. So I found all that stuff in T-Rock, then went to Meyer area, and then back to T-Rock.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, at least I got silvers.
Yeah, we very much enjoyed the blind pull there. And at least you got something useful out of it, right?
Yeah, I actually stopped for a second because I was so surprised that there actually was something useful in the pad.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so many times you see like rupees or bombs or something on there. It's rare that you actually get something out of a blind pull.
Yeah.
And just to give you a little information on what's tripping up your opponent right now, he sadly forgot the small key to swamp on top of Spectacle Rock. And yeah, he's just super stuck right now.
All right, and with that, the OK Guy finishes with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 53 seconds. And unfortunately, CeroX does go ahead and drop that dot forfeit. So we'll see if we can get both of these guys in here for an interview. So while we get everybody else in here, once again, GG to both Problems IRL and Gem for winning their race. GG to the OK Guy for finishing here, and great race there from CeroX. Unfortunately, we had just one item location trip up. If you guys did like what you see, please make sure you give all these guys a follow. They are all fantastic runners and put in a lot of work in this Keysanity tournament for your entertainment. So share some love, drop them a follow.
Yeah, looks like we've got the OK Guy here, so let me get him in here as well. Hey there, Kenny GG.
Thank you guys.
Hello. GG.
That was a lot of fun at first.
Yeah, you were definitely way ahead of everyone else with that early sequence break up Death Mountain.
It's kind of weird. I sequence broke just nonstop early game for like the first hour, and it got to a point where I was making too much progress, and I didn't trust myself. I thought, there's no way I can just make the gamble. I made a gamble for like 5 different things, and they all paid out. Like Mirror and T-Rock. Oh my goodness. There was no way that the GT Big Key was going to be in Ganon's Tower. It's just,
Yeah. Don't mean to cut you off here, but we are also joined here by CeroX. Great race there. Just got a little tripped up there in the end. How you feeling?
Yeah, GG guys. I'm not sure what was I missing. I really don't know what location I skipped. I have no idea.
Yeah, the location you skipped, there was a small key to Swamp Palace on top of Spectacle Rock.
Oh yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Totally forgot about it. Yeah.
I forgot about it too. I just happened to be up there, like, cleaning up for some reason. I don't remember what I was cleaning up, but... Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, there was that small key on Swamp Palace that just led to a ton of big keys in Swamp that pretty much allowed you to clean up the rest of the seed.
Did Problems go full go mode once he had everything except for the big key?
I full cleared the dungeons I was missing, which were a lot because all the big keys I was missing were in Swamp.
Oh.
So I full cleared Mire, Thieves Town, and Eastern Palace.
Nice.
But I went straight to GT after. I also went right side first, so I found the big key a lot faster than you, and I had a ton of overworld stuff I never checked. And I never went into Ice Palace.
See, I did all the overworld stuff. I never went into ice, not once. I triple dipped Misery Mire, unfortunately.
Oh damn.
But It was worth it. Well, the first time I went there, I didn't have big heat or a fire source because sequence breaking. That fire rod in Eastern just laughed at me when I opened up that chest. But man, good game, guys. That was a ton of fun. I hope it was entertaining, at least.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. It was a very entertaining race, and it was especially entertaining because I think it started out right away with route diversions from all of you guys. Like, none of you went to the same place. You all started out, like, 3 of you started out in Sanctuary, and 1 of you started out in Link's house, and then it just went all over the place.
Nice. It's always exciting when it's like that. I mean, not for the trackers, which thank you guys. Really appreciate it. But still, I bet it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch and fun to commentate as well.
Yeah, in the beginning of the race, everybody kind of scattered like flies and went and off and did their own thing, and then I think it was around one of the first Palace of Darkness tips we finally saw some sort of convergence between 2 runners. So it was really interesting to see how this race played out from the 4 different perspectives that we have here.
I am curious. How fast did everybody find the boots up in Hookshot Cave? Because
It took forever.
I was so excited.
Yeah, you were definitely the first to pick up those boots. I think it was probably good maybe 25-30 minutes before the next person found them.
Oh, wow. So I really did totally whiff my lead. I just couldn't trust G Tower to have what I was looking for. But man, a lot of trolley seeds today, guys.
Yeah, you had the boots, and you even had the flute for quite a significant time before everybody else as well.
Oh, that's painful to hear.
Yeah, you definitely have to go back and watch the VOD. It was a really great race. Everybody did fantastic. So
It wasn't very healthy at first.
It certainly wasn't, especially with how early you guys got the Dark World access. The 2 gloves were just laying around right there.
Yep. It was one of the starting chests, either Link's house or Sanctuary. I think Sanctuary, right?
Sanctuary and Mushroom Spot.
Oh my goodness.
My
yeah,
first
it was
2
like
items.
it was like a sub 2-minute Dark World access, and then I think you sat around like 4 hearts for a while, and I think finally you ended up getting like blue mail or even red mail with 4 hearts. Some of you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 4 or 5 hearts when I found red mail.
And then I finished with like 18 hearts and a full inventory. Basically full inventory. But thanks again, guys. I'm excited to go back and watch it once I get myself something to eat. Great job, Problems. Moving on to
Thank you.
3-0. That's good luck. Good luck in 3-0, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I can pull a couple more wins and get in that 4-1, backup bracket or whatever it is. But later, guys. Good race to you, CeroX, and who else? Jim.
Yep. Good GG.
Thank you.
GG.
Later,
Yeah,
guys.
GG, and good luck on the rest of your tournament, man.
Oh yeah, thank you, and thanks for commentating for us. Later,
Oh,
everybody.
Absolutely.
Later.
All right, and I think we're about ready to go ahead and wrap this thing up. CeroX, Problems, Jem, you have any final words with the seed? Maybe regarding the rest of the tournament or the tournament so far?
Not really, no. Said everything.
These Germans, man, so rude. God. What a
Oh,
bunch
Mr.
of
German.
rude people, really. God. Say something interesting.
I like random.
Okay, well, guys, thanks a lot for the entertaining race. I think you pretty much did your job entertaining us today already for the past 2 hours and a little bit. We wish you all the best on the rest of the tournament, of course. And yeah, I think that's about it from us. I also want to give a quick shout out to our restreamer Fiesel and the Speed Gaming Network that's making all this possible. And another shout out, of course, to both of our trackers, Walter the Force and 7X or 6. And last but not least, of course, to my co-commentator Akos. It was a lot of fun as always.
It was indeed. So with that, we're going to wrap everything up. great race, guys, and wish you all the best of luck from here on out.
Thank you.